Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know everybody's busy. This time of year starts to get really crazy, especially June. There's lots of stuff going on for end of school and just all sorts of things are opening up again, which is really beautiful. I love to see that. Um, so don't feel bad for not if you didn't make it and you're watching the replay. So that is fabulous as well. We're always happy to have you no matter when. The important thing for us is being consistent and showing up for you, being here no matter what, always knowing that we'll be here to support you along this journey. And one of the things that we were going to do with Michelle's session was check in with the life mapper, see how you guys are doing, see some wins for the week, all this kind of stuff. So I want you to really think about some wins for this week. I want you to really think about some things that really went well. Like, was there times where you just kind of went, huh, this is actually kind of easy, this is the way life should be. I'm just happy right now. Was there any times that you really felt that? Were there any times where you felt those coincidences, those synchronicities happen? Was there any times that you just felt really, really grateful for being alive and for having the people in your life that you do? I want you to think of a few things that you're grateful for and really, really feel those, because that, even going to bed at night feeling grateful, say we didn't have time to do our life mapper lenses, we didn't have time to dive into a morning routine, or things have been off track for a few days. If you can focus for a few minutes as you're trying to fall asleep on those things that you are really grateful for, you will wake up to often some things already in line for you, already waiting for you to just jump on the high flying disc and just go for it. So if you are waking up not feeling like you're on a high flying disc and you are struggling this week, that is okay too. That's why we're here, and that's why we are on this journey together. And that's why you have a coach, and that's why you have us. So we're here. We got you. Let's get into this week. Let's get into really planning how we want things to go this week. You guys may have heard my webinar on Friday night about self-sabotage and limiting beliefs. And some of the things that I was talking about is cosmically, I really kind of go with what's going on cosmically, because we are cosmic beings. We are all energy. And truly what happens in a Mercury retrograde is that everything is sort of brought up to the surface. Everything has been stirred up from the depths below, like a kid playing in a stick with mud, and there is a bunch of stuff that has come up to the surface. And it has come up to the surface so that we can see it. That kid dove into that mud in that specific place so that those particular things can become uncovered. And as we go on this journey, there's parts of us that finally become ready to hop on board this journey. We feel like we're a whole being and that we are, in line with what we want. But there are parts of us that, maybe feel like it's not safe, or maybe feel like that's a little out of my comfort zone, or maybe feel like you don't trust yourself in a certain way. And that's enough to stop us. So what I want to really do today is kind of get back to the basics, look at cosmically what's going on. With Saturn in retrograde now, what happens is Saturn slows down for us to hop onto its cosmic vibe. And this is all about empowerment. This is all about finding your true self and being supported enough to really just go for it. Like, how cool is that, right? Cosmically, everything is kind of lined up for us where we're really ready to go. And one of the big things that has been coming up a lot with clients that I'm coaching too is really finding that power and staying in it. Finding it is one thing. We can find it on Sundays, Mondays, we can get there. But how do we stay in it, right? And what are those little parts that are telling us that it's, not safe to be empowered? And I want you to think for a minute about, is there anyone that you feel in some way, shape, or form that even a part of you feels like you would be disempowering if you became empowered? Do you feel like, well, I can't, if I was to become my empowered self, then, my kids won't survive, or these people won't survive, or these people, it's just, I can't have this and this. I can't, we come up to these things, and that's parts of us that are doubting or not trusting us being able to manage these things and move forward. So when we get in our own way, it's really inconvenient because there's a lot of other people and other people's stuff that get in our way too. So what can we do, right? We can get out of our own way. We can look at some of these things that tend to sort of start to pull us back. So with this Saturn retrograde coming in, I want us to think about our inner fears, our resilience that can overcome those little fears, our true strength, our true empowerment. And it's interesting, a lot of people are actually like feeling really ready for this shift this week. They're like, okay, yeah, that was crazy, but I'm not staying there. We're going forward, and everything cosmically is lined up to help us to do that too. So I'd love to just kind of look at our physical realm. What do we want? Right? What do we want? Do we want a super successful business? Is that going to be in line with wanting a life of health and vitality? Do we feel like we can't have both? Do I want to be the best mother I absolutely can be? Or do I want to have a super successful business? Can I have both? It's time to sort of bring those things into focus and really focus on what are the real bones about where we need to be so we can get where we are. And it's usually not that big, huge, successful coaching business. It's often really just looking at our own health, looking at our own discipline. This cosmic time is called the self-discipline review. So I'd like to ask you, how are you doing with self-discipline? Now, self-discipline doesn't have to be you have to eat, this exact way. You have to not do this. It doesn't have to be super regimented, because that may not really vibe with you as well, right? Like, we have to all figure out what works for us. And I want you to think about the easiest time you've had taking care of yourself and the best you felt about taking care of yourself. What was it that you did? Even if you have to close your eyes and just kind of get grounded and centered for a minute, get into that heart space. What was it that you did, when you were really like, yeah, I was rocking that. That's when I felt really good. Was it just taking care of yourself? Was there something else that just kind of pops up? Was it just staying focused? Was it just doing the things that you knew that you wanted to do and actually committing to them? What made you commit to them? How did you commit to them? What was it that wanted you to get there bad enough that you committed to it? Why does it a lot of times have to end up that it's a crisis before we realize that health is of the utmost importance? And if we don't have that, we truly cannot take care of anybody else. So when we think of our health goals, our health intentions, I don't like to say goals because that means, we're going to achieve something, and then once that's achieved, we have to kind of think of a new goal. What are your health intentions? I know what mine are. And if I was to look at how I'm actually doing right now, I can see pretty clearly where things are off kilter, right? And that can be in self-discipline in many ways. This doesn't just have to mean, how are you eating? How are you sleeping? Are you drinking enough water? Are you taking care of your stress levels? Are you meditating? Are you blah, 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 right? Which is why we have a morning routine in the first place. Boom, takes care of all those things at once. You're grounded, you're ready to go, you're feeling good. As soon as we get out of bed, if we put our feet on the floor and we ground ourselves and we just are grateful for being able to put our feet on the floor. It's interesting right now because grounding this morning was funny. With this full moon coming, our cells are expanding with liquid, and what tends to happen is we feel very full. So if something's blocked, like our crown chakra, our third eye, we're going to have huge migraines and headaches right now. If something is blocked in our energy centers of our throat and our heart with grief and not speaking our truth, we're going to have pain in this area. if stuff is going on in the gut where we're just having tons of issues and, can't catch our breath and having anxiety, that's that solar plexus right underneath the heart. If we're like having irritable bowel and can't even leave the house because we're so stressed, that is all sacral plexus. If we're having financial stuff where it's just, exuding out of you, where there's just so much strain and so much focus on money right now, the low back is going to be awful. And if the legs and the feet are not, if you're not kind of following that path, you need to, they're going to be stiff and full. And so I like to kind of just take note of how my body feels every morning. And I'd like you guys to kind of take note of that too. What's sitting in your energy centers? What's full? What are those cells that are so full? And then look at inflammation in your body. What is it telling you? Are your joints aching? Do you have arthritis and it's getting out of control? Do you have an old injury and it's yelling at you right now? All of those things are basically your body filling that space. So those liquid in those cells is literally filling that space, and it's causing a lot of havoc for a lot of people in certain ways. But it's also trying to tell us some things really, really strongly. And you guys know I love talking about what the body says. So cosmically, body-wise, everything's really strongly telling us right now and showing us exactly where we need to be and supporting us to get there in the easiest way that we will find, again, from now right until the end of October. This is all about really creating this life that we would love to have. So what do you guys feel that I'm just going to let Chris in here. There we go. I'll put him on camera so he can share if he wants to. Hey, Chris, how's it going? So lovely to see you. You have perfect timing. I've just been sort of talking about the stuff going on right now. Cosmically, what we have happening is this really big shift to help us get into this new dimension of what it is we really want with the most ease and flow after it finished kind of uprooting all the stuff over the last, like, especially month to 2 months. They've been really crazy for people, just trying to manage all of these things that have been coming at them to sort of show them in clear view their old self-sabotage patterns, their old ways, the old things that it's like, if you really want to make sure moving forward you're going to let this go, we're just going to give you one last go at it to make sure you're ready for this shift. And if, of course, there's those parts at all that may not quite be ready for the shift, they sometimes are coming on board at this time. So we've been just chatting a little bit about the self-discipline review that this time is all about. And I've just been sort of saying, how are you doing with that? How is this, if we were to kind of look at our self-discipline over the last couple of weeks, I noticed that last year I was really in this big shift at the same time, and planetarily things were kind of lined up to help us do that too. And I did great, but it's staying in it and really keeping focused and sometimes not going too crazy on the big sort of out there choices and really kind of getting back to those basic choices of that true health and vitality, because sometimes some of our bigger choices are going against some of those ones. So just dialing it in for this week, really making sure that we are innately seeing all of these old patterns, these old things that have just been blurbling up out of absolutely nowhere, and recognize them as the lessons that they were for reals, like for reals, because this whole Mercury retrograde thing was serious. It was serious business. It was chaos. It was just bringing up all sorts of stuff, allowing people who were really sure about what they wanted and really sure about where they were going to question themselves, allowing things to just be brought up, and not so much a test, but allowing us to realize, okay, I need to do just a kind of little reality check. I need to look around. It occurred to me today when I lost my glasses that usually if I can't find my glasses, I'm a little too busy and I have a little too much going on and I'm getting a little too carried away. And so when I did a little self-reflection, I was like, wow, yeah, have a lot of stuff going on for other people right now, with my kids being just finishing school, with taking care of a family that I take care of. I was helping out friends with their restaurant. Like I just got into sort of that people pleasing mode again that I know doesn't serve me. And every time I'm going to do it, I'm like, this so isn't, why am I doing this? This is, and it's just, it's so clear. So I'm making those choices to basically end them all. And at the end of June, they're pretty much kind of like all ending. So it's like, wow, this is crazy. It's all happening. And then, you get to these big shifts where things are really happening. And there comes that resistance again. There comes those little things that are still holding us back, that even after a year or 2 years of being in this work, whether you're just starting or you've been doing it for a long time, these shifts are like really, really big. So yeah, no worries, Chris. I'm just going to keep on going. So we're going to end up doing a recode. We're going to end up just going into a meditation of our true choices, and we're going to end up talking a little bit more about that. So I'll just kind of wrap up. So like I say, if uncertainty was cropping up for anybody, if things have been kind of going a little bit sideways in ways, but not so much sideways, I want you to just notice, right? Just notice what's been going on for you. So when we look at our true choices, I want you guys to think about the things that you do really want. Now, we have our life mapper that we've been doing, and when we go through it, we kind of look at the things that we did in the last week, how things went for us for the last week. And I want you to think about that a little bit, and think about where it is that you could support yourself just a smidge better in trying to find a way to really keep yourself moving forward, and really pick a choice that is going to mean a lot to you. To really pick a choice that is going to basically be the first thought that comes into your mind. The first thought is generally the best thought. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through all of the choices that we use with Chris Duncan's work, the sort of core four. And I always thought that in the beginning, it was just a way for people to kind of get into a space of what they wanted. And what I realize now is that those four choices truly encompass virtually everything we want, whether we want to focus on that coaching business, whether we want to focus on, getting a new house, whether we want to focus on getting a new car. We can make these true choices, but we can still have a little manifestation going on. Like the other day, last week, our barbecue died, and I was just like, you know what, we don't have money to just kind of go blow on a barbecue because they're so crazy expensive right now. And we don't use it a ton. We have a smoker I want to kind of start using, and I was like, we're going to manifest a barbecue somehow. And I just knew it. I just knew we're going to either win a barbecue, even though I'm not entered in any contest to win a barbecue. We're going to get a barbecue. We're going to manifest a barbecue from somewhere. And then all of a sudden that week, I had a few people, it popped up in our conversation where they said, we just got a new barbecue. We have to sell our old one. And I was like, oh, well, let me know if you're going to sell it, because we actually need a new barbecue. But I don't need like a crazy brand new funky fandangled. I just need I'd love it, just a charcoal barbecue. And last night my husband said, oh, my dad just bought a new barbecue and he's giving us his old one. I was like, what? That's amazing. I manifested a barbecue. And he's like, uh-huh. I was like, no, I really in my mind was like, we're gonna get a barbecue. It was like I knew. So it was really interesting to see that kind of come around. Is it all play? It kind of is, right? If you play in that field, if you allow yourself to play in that field, that's what you see. You do get those things. You do find those things. You're putting it in your field and it's coming to you. It's because you know what you want. So these last few weeks, especially, have probably been really dialing us into what we want. And I want you to even think about, have you questioned it? Have you questioned what you really want? And so going forward, I want to have a little look. We're going to just kind of go into a meditative state. We are going to do some true choices. We're going to do a little recode on it. just to kind of keep us moving forward, just to bring up anything in the field for anyone in replay land, just to make sure that we're all staying really aligned for this week, feeling really good. So first of all, I want you to think of those things that you were grateful for when we first started our call today. Just really think about a win or two that you had this week where you felt kind of like, heck yeah, I can do this. And if you didn't, I want to help you to try and feel that way this week coming forward. So what is something that you just really know that you have been wanting to do for yourself, whether it's just, you know what, get enough sleep, get enough, even think about, are you waking up in the middle of the night? You know, I have if things come to me, I just kind of say it. So, you know, there's some people even in replay land here where if they're waking up at 3 or 4 in the morning every morning, that might be a state of just something like your cortisol levels are out of whack because they're firing at the wrong time, or um, your sometimes there's things Chinese medicine wise that are going on in certain organs around that time. Is there something that is disrupting you from your sleep? Is sleep even an issue? Are you wanting to sleep all the time? Why is that, right? So really kind of examining things, because if we don't, they just sort of stay in the unexamined and often the unreviewed and often the unrequited. So when our bodies are trying to talk to us, it's really important that we listen. I feel like surrendering is really important in this next little while. Surrendering to those voices that we're hearing, surrendering to those intuitions that we're having, surrendering to those thoughts that just feel good and just allowing us to feel good rather than thinking that something wrong may happen. So if we were to think of a couple of uncomfortable things that happened last week, where were we uncomfortable? And, you know, where could we support ourselves a little bit better just moving forward this week? There's a lot of things that we could just simply be doing ourselves by making that choice. We are empowered. We are empowered people, and we can keep that power by continuing paying attention to what our body's trying to say every day, paying attention to what's going on in our reality. Take a good look right now. What is going on in your reality? Our beliefs sort of create our reality. So do we believe that we're stuck? Do we, pardon me, believe that we're moving forward? Do we believe that we're feeling good? Do we believe that we're ready to rock this week? So I'd like you to just kind of get into that heart space. And if you guys will allow me, I'd love it if you just chose to make the absolute best out of today and really chose to allow your true choices to just come up into the active experience. And I'd like you to just go to a place where you're very happy. May have been a long time ago, maybe have been just this morning. For me, it was a few hours ago when I was planting peas and carrots in my garden and it stopped raining and the sun came out and it felt so warm. Could have been playing your favorite song. It could have been just connecting with people. Just a nice, beautiful moment. And I want you to imagine all your thoughts, all your brain activity starting to slowly move down into your heart space, just connecting. Like you can almost feel your thoughts just enter that heart space, that soul space, that safe space, all those thoughts, and just bring them all into the heart. I want you guys to just take a few nice deep breaths. I'm going to have you actually take a couple of breaths where we just actually hold on the inhale for a few seconds. And we're just going to allow those chemicals in our brain to start really exploring these true end choices with us. And so I want you to just take a nice deep breath in and hold it for a few seconds, about 4 or 5, and then just let it go gently. Just taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, fill up that belly, And at the top of the breath, just hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. And just breathe out, relaxing all those muscles in your body, deflating your belly. And breathe in. And hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale. And I want you to take 3 more deep breaths like that. As you just notice your belly filling on each inhale, hold that space and relax your shoulders. And on the exhale, I want you to imagine all the muscles in your body simply releasing. Moving down all the way from the top of your head, imagining your crown just being cascaded upon with light, with a light beam. A beautiful light beam that's a sunbeam coming through a window and just touching your skin, feeling so warm, you can see the beauty of it. Touching the top of your head, you can feel its warmth. And those little particles that float around in there like magic little sparkles. And as it starts to touch your head, I want you to notice more sparkles start to come and more light start to come as it touches the top of your head. And allow that light to simply be absorbed into every cell of the top of your head. Just allowing that crown to open to all possibilities right now. It is so bright, and I want you to imagine it moving down to your third eye, allowing your forehead to relax, your eyebrows, your eyes getting heavy. If you haven't closed your eyes yet, you can do so and just breathe normally now. As you can just envision and feel in every cell of your body that light starting to move down through your face into your jaw, your ears, opening that third eye almost like you can feel the back of your sinus drain, like a light moving out of your forehead. I want you to, now that you're in your third eye, to picture a life where you are fully empowered. I want you to really embrace being the true predominant creative force in your life. That true empowered soul, the one that feels strong and anchored. That's beautiful. And just allow that light to just move through your body, down through that throat. Feeling like it's just okay to be heard, to be listened to. Allowing truth to just be absorbed from every little sparkle coming down through your throat and down into your heart. Feeling that light start to cascade over your shoulders and relax those muscles. Relaxing your whole spine, feeling your neck just elongate. As you feel that empowered, feel that power coming through your head, right down into your soul heart space, embracing that power, knowing that no one else will be disempowered by you being empowered. Everyone in your life, and I mean everyone, will be empowered when you are. Isn't that true? Gives me goosebumps. You empower everyone around you by just choosing this. And I want you to just feel what an empowered person feels like. Feel how strong that back feels. Feel how strong that core is, those core beliefs. And letting any resistance just come up into the active field with being empowered right now. Perhaps even noticing the way you were feeling. Just allowing any resistance to just come up into that active experience right now. Just do a massive change history on all the resistance to being empowered. Being that true creative force in your life. You have the power, you have the willpower. You have done whatever it is. You have created all this. You can do it. I want you to choose to allow that trust to resonate in your body with that light and those sparkles. Simply allowing, trusting yourself to instill into your heart right now. I can feel some pain just under the middle of the back in the rib cage there, where there's a lack of support. There's a felt lack of support. So if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to blast a little energy out there. And I want you to know that isn't it true that all that support is out there? All of those things that we need, they're there. In fact, all of those things we even know we need to do, they're all there. We don't even need anything else. We have it all inside of us. That's why we've been on this journey this long. It's all here right now. And we can trust that whatever isn't here is going to come about. Especially before this supermoon next week. I want you to feel that power, that moon power, that sunlight, that embracing that light that's just coming into every cell. I want you to breathe that light in. Breathe in those sparkles and that sunlight right now. Really far deep out down into those lungs, just replacing all the fear. And I want you to really feel that power. How good does that feel? How good does it feel to actually make those choices? To take a stand to yourself, to stop the self-abuse, to stop the self-talk of, I don't have the willpower, I need something else. Just stopping it all, allowing all of that chatter to be brought up into the active experience now, to just be tagged and treated. And we're going to do a massive change history on all of that, all related to power. And I'd like to bring in all of our parts and personalities right now, all those parts of us that there are some that haven't felt that it was their time yet to come forward. They were still untrusting that they were able to be a part of this unified field here. They felt like they were being disruptive. They weren't sure of their job anymore. We're going to allow all those parts and personalities to just come on board today. As we allow that light to move down into our bellies, into our personal boundaries. And I want you to just feel that light starting to move through, replacing any of those full cells, just simply replacing it. Anything that's being let go, I can feel it being drawn down through your legs, down through your feet. And I want you to notice there's roots growing down through your feet right now, growing deep down into Gaia, Mother Earth, so far down you literally can't see it. Simply handing it over to the Earth's vibration. To be reintroduced where it can be helpful, perhaps not even in your field, just releasing any of that stuff that we don't need anymore, allowing that to just simply be drawn out through those roots in your feet, feeling it ground you more. With everything that's going down through those roots, feeling it just simply ground you to such a solid anchor that I want you to embrace right now being your true nature and purpose. Even if you weren't doing what it is you're doing as a job right now, the things you've been guided to do, in this last journey that you've been going on? Has it not been just guiding you towards this true nature and purpose of yours? It's what you always have been. It's what's always lit you up. It's what you've kind of always wanted. It's what you've always sort of wished for. It's always there. And I want you to look at those wishes. Maybe those wishes were health and vitality. Maybe you always just wanted to have a different body. Maybe you always just wanted to have a different life. Maybe you always just wanted to be on stage performing for people, being that rock star that we know we are. Maybe we always just knew we wanted this, and now everything has just been bringing us towards this. Knowing that we'd be doing it anyways, realizing that we've been doing it anyways, we've been doing it in small ways. We're just ready, just really ready for this shift to being our true nature and purpose. It may just be spending that time that time. I feel lots of emotion coming up right now about time. It's like a universal energy of people that are realizing that we're living in some kind of matrix where we have this time watch that, seconds are ticking off right now. We're giving them away. It's gone. We can't get it back. And having that time taken away from us with people that we've loved. I want you to just move through that right now. And use that time that we have left. This is serious business. It could end tomorrow. We're always waiting for the right time. We're always waiting for the... what are we waiting for? What if those people that were really important to us were gone? This is really happening all over the world so much right now. Younger people are dying all the time. There's craziness going on, hey? I want you to just... I love it, Chris. I saw you up there, choosing to be a rock star. But what's going to get you there? What true choice is going to get you there? Is it being your true nature and purpose and just saying, screw it, I don't care what anybody says, I am ready for this? Just choosing that, those things are going to drop down into your active experience that are going to make this happen for you. It's like the universe has just been waiting to see Chris Diamond out there, to see us out there. The minute we make that choice, the minute we know we just are there for our true nature and purpose, the whole universe supports us. And this is the time that we're going to get the most support cosmically, every way that we can. It's just there. It's just there. What is that true nature and purpose? I want you to just choose it right now. And super conscious, we're going to just tag and treat any resistances coming up to being our true nature and purpose, to being our fullest potential. What are we waiting for? Just tag and treat all that. Do a massive change history on wasting time, procrastinating. Let's go. Just breathing that in. And what about our health and vitality? Are we really choosing our health and vitality? This time is our self-discipline review. What needs to be added? What needs to be taken away? Again, my back is telling me there's support. I feel like there's not enough support. We can do anything we need to with our health. We can do just some yoga, stretching, meditating. connecting with ourselves every day, getting into that space of allowance, of surrender, simply surrendering, turning off that monkey mind. If you were to ask yourself what you need to do in the next few weeks to really help yourself in every way to achieve this health and vitality, what is it? Few little action steps along the way. I want you to ask in the field where you are right now, in being your true nature and purpose, in being the absolute predominant creative force in your life. Let those things pop in right now. They've been trying to come in. We're going to tag and treat any resistances popping up to that right now. Sometimes there were parts of us that felt we needed to be in this state for some reason. We're just going to allow all those parts to come on board, get in tune with this mono personality, and tag and treat any resistances around that. I'm going to do a massive change history on all of those. And I want you to just choose right now the end result of a life you just love. Do you see how it's all the same? It's a life you just love without struggle, without doubting yourself, without feeling like anyone's holding you back, especially yourself. Imagine just letting yourself go. Imagine just feeling like you were doing exactly what you were meant to do on this earth. And I want you to just imagine that light filling your whole pelvis that you were seeing before. Those sparkles, that sunbeam, just moving down the back, moving down the spine, through your core, into that sacral plexus where all that money stuff is held. And we're just going to allow that to shift right now. Feeling like there's things that are holding us back from that, just not feeling like we deserve it, not feeling like we can hang on to it, that trust about money. I want you to allow any of those thoughts coming up right now, any of those resistances, to simply be tagged and treated. And doing a massive change history on that. Just going to increase some of the energy moving through the body here. Down into that root chakra. And I want you to notice the muscles in your pelvic floor right now. Are they tensed? I want you to relax every sphincter, your butt muscles, your thigh muscles, your legs. And I want you to imagine your whole body starting to fill with light like the tap was turned on. And superconscious, I want you to just go through any of the events in the past, present, future, all timelines, tandem memories, going into timelines 1, 2, and 3, really looking and finally bringing to the surface any of these events that may have allowed us to feel, for any reason, as though we couldn't have any of these true choices. Any of these events that may be bringing up any resistance towards having these two choices, and just cleaning and clearing all those and just doing a massive change history. And again, bringing these part personalities, and I want you to imagine them as all these crew members on a boat. And the boat is your superconscious field. It's this big, beautiful structure of memories, DNA, all sorts of stuff. You got all the riffraff on this boat. And I want you to just literally climb out as your conscious mind, as your creator, as yourself. That crew is all the unconscious. You, as your creative consciousness, are coming out as the boat captain, and you're just explaining very calmly and gently that we're just ready to go where we're going. This has been a long journey, but this is it. This is the real stuff now, and they're all starting to get excited and get into their positions. I want you to just notice the parts and the personalities around. Some may pop up, some may not. They all may look like a bunch of drunken sailors, or they all may be nice yacht crew. This boat looks like your boat, whatever it happens to be. And I want you to imagine them all the parts and personalities simply looking at you right now for instruction. Some of them know they're getting new jobs. Some of them know that they're simply, a part of this journey still, that nothing is going to happen to them. They're very strong. They're just ready for promotions. There's just a lot of promotions to go on. So we're just going to explain to all the crew members right now about creating this life that we love, not letting anything hold us back, not wasting any more time, being our true nature and purpose, doing what we're doing anyways, but really allowing it to be seen by the world. Not being afraid of that anymore. We know there's going to be people that judge, but it's not them that matters. They all have all sorts of stuff and parts, personalities too. We're just going to all align these parts and personalities to be on board with being that empowered self. Oh, I get those goosebumps again. That power, it's all inside of us. We don't need to look for anything else. We just need to believe it in ourselves and feel it. And superconscious, please do a massive change history on all these parts, personalities, bring them all on board to the most satisfaction in life and the absolute least amount of pain. Just knowing that all these parts will be able to do their jobs exactly how they're supposed to. They're supposed to keep us safe and happy and powerful and free of our own prison. And we're going to just go to any family entanglements, super conscious, just bringing in all that DNA, all of those old stories and patterns, just tagging and treating anything that needs to come up, past, present, and future, going all along time and space. 7 generations back further if needed, just tagging and treating all of that in the field right now. Doing a massive change history on both mother's and father's side. Tagging and treating our relationships with our children, just allowing any of that resistance or fear or feeling of failure to just be released. Doing a massive change history on all that. Superconscious, I want to just go into broken agreements. The biggest ones were the broken agreements that we had with ourselves, and just really tagging and treating, forgiving ourselves, bringing all that up, allowing that trust and forgiveness to happen again, and doing a massive change history on that. Just going through the body systems, any pain in the body, allowing some of those cells to just start vibrating enough that that fluid can manage to move through, and just embracing this supermoon energy. And I want you to just choose finally your choice for yourself. Maybe there's one that doesn't align with those core four. Maybe it's choosing to just be a rock star, because I love that. You are a rock star. And tagging and treating any resistance coming up to that full true choice. And doing a massive change history on all body systems, organ systems, muscles. And really feeling the energy moving through our body. We're going to reground, feeling those roots anchoring us so deep down into the ground. And I want you to remember that feeling when you wake up in the mornings. And we're going to just ground all this into the matrix of the universe, into memories and timelines 1, 2, and 3. Doing a massive super recode on anything else that we may have missed in the field for people that are just watching now. And when you're ready, you can take a few nice deep breaths and keep in mind asking yourself those few things that you need to do this week, this month, this Saturn retrograde till fall, and notice what just pops into your experience. Meditation is all about allowing yourself to be in this field and simply ask yourself a question. What do I really need to do this week? I hear all sorts of stuff. Just believe in yourself. Just, follow through. This whole time right now is all about, sorry, still breathing, this powerful, is all about this self-discipline review. And it's not to beat ourselves up, but it is to truly notice what is being so apparent to us that we may have been writing down for the last year or two in lenses and things we wanted to do and things we really felt were going to be powerful to us. And I want you to really embrace that, because we do have all of the support that we need. If we ever feel like we're not capable or we can't do it, all we have to do is reach out to maybe someone that pops into your head. Reach out to the tribe here. Reach out to any friends or anything that's calling you. Just explore what's going on out there. Explore what's open to you, and notice the things that are coming. And next week, Charity and Linda and I are doing our Wounds to Wisdom, and it's going to be a whole week of crazy, amazing processes and just diving into all those little self-sabotaging things that we do, all those limiting beliefs that we have, and really allowing this stuff to bubble to the surface in a beautiful, fun, safe way. So I feel like anyone that is watching this should give it a go, just for the amount of support that's going to be there to really help yourself. You never know what's going to come up when people share. We're going to do a lot of sharing. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. And so in case I don't see you guys before then, I really hope to see you then. It's of course all free, and as much as you can commit is great. There's going to be replays available for the whole week after, so you have a couple weeks to sort of absorb and dive in. And I will, Chris, did you want to share anything before I let you guys go for today? I have it recorded.
Yeah, definitely. I feel more in alignment with my music career. I want to start performing more, and this helps me realign with that on a deeper level.
Good.
Things have been happening already, but I want to just go to a higher level with it.
Nice. Nice. Have you noticed things bubbling up in the last few, like in the last few months? Has it been a shift for you in this last couple weeks too, where you're kind of feeling like I got this? How have you been doing over the last little while?
I kind of like lost touch with the music dream for a
Mm,
while, and then I recently reconnected with it for the last 2 months. So yeah, I'm
I
back.
love it.
I'm back into my commitment.
I love it. Yeah, this is it. Like this, we do have the utmost support to really help us get there. And yeah, it's kind of wild how things sort of, we get that resistance gets us, the monkey mind gets us going to all those other things we used to do, but not where we really want to go. Hey. And if you think about it, 5 years from now, you're still going to be wanting the same thing, right? Like this is you.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that
Yep.
just feeling into that time, it was just like, oh, it's so time. It's so time. Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you for sharing that, Chris. You're awesome. And thanks for making it on tonight.
Thank
We had a whole bunch of things shift around just because Charity wasn't feeling well and she's just recovering here from COVID. And Michelle was down with a migraine, and we usually do a big session on kind of like life mapping lenses and then roll right into Charity's Recode. So I kind of took both on, and you and I always wind up in the field together, and I just love it so, so much. I have it recording live onto Facebook too, so I'll just so that you know. Um, but yeah, I really appreciate you making it on. It was divine timing. I was just gonna literally go hop into Recode, and it's perfect. So we'll give you the replay too. We'll make sure I have it recording, so I'll send you a copy of it just so you can catch the first part that was a little bit more in depth about what we were talking about, and we'll hopefully connect over the next week or two first. But reach out anytime. Hey, we're all like so in this together. We're so there, and we all have tons of group classes that you guys are all welcome on. So I always do them like Monday, Wednesdays during the day. Charity has hers in the evening, so we always have something there so that you can always get some live support. We always love having your energy, and everybody else in replay and live Facebook land. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna go find my glasses because I'm feeling very grounded now, and I think I actually know where they are. I, I'm going to be posting a picture with my glasses on in about 5 minutes because I do. I think I see them in the car in a bag that I hadn't brought in yet. So I love this. Thank you guys. Mwah. Have a
Thank
fabulous
you.
week. Thank you,
Thank
Chris.
you.
I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.